Hey there, race fans. It's Race Day Top 5 with me, Frank 5. It is Memorial Day Sunday. It is a great day to be a motorsports fan because today, 3 big races all in one day. The Monaco Grand Prix to kick us off in the morning, and at lunch, the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500, the 109th running of that race where 33 men chased that iconic race win. And then later tonight, 600 grueling miles of the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It is a big day to be a race fan, and for myself, this is pretty much motorsports Christmas, where you have Formula One, IndyCar, NASCAR, 3 big races, all on the same day. It's always a good time of the year to have this. Unfortunately, this will be the last year for it because next year Monaco will be falling on a different day. So pretty much this is the last motorsports Christmas for the foreseeable future. So it's best to make the most of it. But it is a big day for me as a NASCAR fan with the Coca-Cola 600 because today we get to watch 40 drivers go at it for 400 laps on this mile-and-a-half track at America's Home for Racing, the home turf for almost every single team in the field, wanting to be the first across that start-finish line tonight and winning a Crown Jewel. I'm so excited for the day. This will be my 3rd Coca-Cola 600 that I am attending this year. And let us hope we have all 400 laps, 600 miles run, and it doesn't get cut short due to rain, because there is a slight chance of it today, but I don't think it's going to be a massive rain out that could cause a long delay. It could be a little sprinkle that causes a few minutes for us to dry the track and resume. We will have to see, but it is a big day and I cannot wait. Let's get this exciting day of racing underway. Well, I am leaving right now, so it's time to turn off the lights and close the door, and we will be out of here. On the road en route to Charlotte Motor Speedway, and the sun is peeking through the clouds just a little bit, and hardly any traffic on the road. It's a dream right now. I had to make a quick pit stop because we need ice for our drinks and to keep everything else cool under this sun. Well, race fans, we're here. We are at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in our parking lot area just outside of America's Home for Racing. The fans are starting to file into their parking spots, beginning their tailgating experience. We've got our stuff set up for the most part. It's just a beautiful, beautiful day to be at this track and be with all the people that love a good time. They love racing, they love barbecues, and most importantly, we just want to have some fun. That's all we can ask for. But we're here and we're ready to get this party going. You can see everybody's got their tents out, they've got their grills out, they've got their games out. They're going to be playing a couple of, games outside and just having some fun before they all begin to file in a little bit later on in the afternoon. But for the moment, everyone's just in relaxing mode and just having a good time. And that's what today is all about, folks. Thought I'd also give a little bit of an update about what happened in this morning's Monaco Grand Prix. Well, it is Team McLaren and Lando Norris who started on the pole, victorious at the Principality, winning the Monaco Grand Prix over the Monegasque driver Charles Leclerc with Team Ferrari, and Oscar Piastri, the championship leader, still remains that after his 3rd place finish. A 1-3 for McLaren today, a very impressive effort. It's the first win for Team McLaren at Monaco since 2008 with Lewis Hamilton winning it, and it's the first time today that McLaren had led the Monaco Grand Prix since Jenson Button did in 2011. A 14-year stretch since leading this race. Yikes! But they have certainly shown this year that they have had pace, and they are taking it to Red Bull's Max Verstappen, who finished 4th. As for Lewis Hamilton, his first Monaco GP in a Ferrari, a 5th place finish. He was able to vault over Isaac Hadjar and Fernando Alonso during the first of 2 mandatory pit stops that these guys were required by the FIA today, and Lewis was able to take that and get 5th place after being dropped back to 7th because of the impediment of Max Verstappen qualifying today, which I still did not see any impediment at all, but he turned into a 5th place, so that's not a bad performance by Lewis. Other than that, mandatory pit stops didn't really change much of the positions. It was tough to pass. There was an incident where Pierre Gasly, going into the chicane, coming out of the tunnel, hit the back of Yuki Tsunoda and damaged the left front wheel, and he couldn't stop because he had no brakes. Yeah, well, because he had 3 wheels operational and one was completely out of whack. So he's probably going to face a penalty for the FA because he didn't stop on the track like he probably should have. He just drove it back to the pits, and yet he couldn't stop until teams got out there and helped him. And Fernando Alonso, it's like the NASCAR version of Brad Keselowski this year. If it weren't for bad luck, Fernando Alonso would have none at all as he lost his engine. He pulled out of the track and got into a safe area, but he just has no luck this year. He has no points yet. How much longer can Fernando take it at Aston Martin? We'll have to see. But other than that, once again, tough to pass at Monaco. Even though the place is beautiful, it's really tough to pass. And the two-stop didn't really change the outcome of the race. But for the most part, Monaco is Monaco. And now we're just getting closer to the start of the Indianapolis 500, where Joseph Newgarden will have to come from 32nd to try to win 3 Indy 500s in a row. We've got Robert Schwartzman, a rookie for the brand new Prima Racing team, on the pole, starting next to two-time Indy 500 winner Takuma Sato, looking for his 3rd win today. And of course, Pat O'Ward still trying to break the curse and get a win at the Indianapolis 500. It's going to be a very entertaining race today. And of course, our own Kyle Larson will be in this race today, starting in 19th. So far, it looks like we're going to start the race on time, despite some breakup cells in the area. It looks like we should be able to get the Indy 500 in, and once that's done, hopefully Larson has concluded 500 miles, and then he'll be on his way here to the Coca-Cola 600. So Larson, wishing you the best, but now we're getting set for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Got the Indy 500 on my dad's iPad right here. It's charging up because it runs through so much battery, but a little delay to the start because of weather. We're on lap 89 of 200 as we speak. Joseph Newgarden trying to win 3 races in a row. He's coming into his pit stop and everything, trying to work his way up to the back all the way up towards the front. He's getting there. Right now, Alex Palou is leading. Kyle Larson's been kind of around the top 20 to top 25. Still need to keep this race going green if he's going to have any chance to complete this race and then get to Charlotte. It's going to be really close, but other than that, it's been a relatively competitive race.
Now the sun is shining and a lot more people have packed into this parking lot area. All these people are here to have a good time and everything. And the sun feels hot, I can tell you that. Quick update on the Indianapolis 500. We're officially past halfway. However, there will be no successful double for Kyle Larson. And the restart going through 1 and 2, he was avoiding a checkup in front of him, and he downshifted at the wrong possible time going into turn 2, lost control, and he hit the wall and collected Kiffin Simpson and Stingray Robb. So therefore, there will no be successful 1,100-mile run for Kyle Larson. But the bright side is he will be able to make it here way ahead of schedule and start the Coca-Cola 600. Now will he start at the rear if he doesn't make it to driver's meeting or driver intros? I don't know what the penalty is. But regardless, unlike last year, he will run the full 600 miles as long as the car's in one piece at the very end. But definitely sucks. Hopefully Larson could do it next year. Maybe if he does try next year, 3rd time could be the charm.
Having our product being done in the grill right now, burgers and chicken. The burgers are for dinner. The chicken, well, that's for me for other days of the week that I need to eat. But it looks delicious, I might say.
Burger's officially been cooked, and now I'm gonna take a bite.
Burger.
Outstanding.
We have a Goodyear blimp sighting, about to fly over the speedway, and much as some people like to crap on Goodyear's reliability and sometimes with tires, you can't deny that they've remained a staple in our sport, and we thank them. Dinner's been consumed, and now we're walking to the track. We are just getting close to the start of the Coca-Cola 600.
Thought I'd just take a quick moment to say congratulations to Alex Palou and Chip Ganassi Racing. They won the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500 today. Fairly competitive race, and Alex Palou, there's just no stopping this guy this year, winning 5 of the first 6 races. We're witnessing greatness over there. We really are. And he drove a great race, and he got the best of Marcus Ericsson and David Malukas. And yeah, congratulations once again to Palou and Chip Ganassi Racing, Indy 500 champs. Everybody getting their piece of merchandise before they get ready to take their seats for this long, long race. Hauler Avenue is packed. Why don't we get a quick run through about whose haulers are where? The Richard Childress Racing hauler of Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon, Austin Hill, and Jesse Love. By the way, congratulations to Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon on their contract extensions for 2026. Trackhouse Racing, Chevy drivers Daniel Suarez and SVG Shane Van Gisbergen. The second time he's running the Coke 600. He ran it last year and, finished with a clean car. Over here we got the Melon Man Ross Chastain. I'm surprised he finally has his own hauler now, but hey, when you're smashing watermelons when you win races and you're relatively liked or, sometimes disliked, at least people know your name. I have a Chevy hauler over here where, you sell Chevrolet merchandise, and I see some of the colleague guys, Ty Dillon and AJ Allmendinger, are merchandise in there. That's nice of them to fit them in that spot. The Toyota hauler for the top 2 teams, the Toyota Camp, Joe Gibbs Racing and 2311 Racing, Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, and Riley Herbst, and some of the Xfinity drivers from Joe Gibbs Racing. They did a really good job putting these guys all together. Everybody wants to get the most popular drivers merchandise. Chase Elliott, the number 9 car, he's hoping tonight he adds a Crown Jewel to his racing resume. Everybody's packed over here at the Kyle Larson hauler. So gutted he got knocked out of the Indianapolis 500, but I can give you an update that he has arrived at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and don't think he'll have to start at the back, so he'll start on the front row where he qualified in 2nd place, so that's pretty impressive. We got all Ford over here, all those Dark Horse Mustangs. RFK Racing with Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and Ryan Preece. Front Row Motorsports with Noah Gregson, Todd Gillen, and Zane Smith. And the Haas Factory team with Colt Custer and the 2 Xfinity drivers, Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer. They did a good job putting these guys together in the merchandise hauler as well. And here's the final Ford hauler we have with the Penske guys of Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Austin Cindric, and the Wood Brothers with Josh Berry. They also are selling out merchandise as well. They do pretty good as far as the sales go. And then we have Team Chevy with Alex Bowman and William Byron's haulers over here, combined with that of Junior Motorsports with Justin Allgaier, Connor Zilisch. And we'll be running tonight's race for Trackhouse Racing in the 87 car. And we've also got Connor Zilisch, Sammy Smith, and Carson Quapple. And Willie B, big congratulations to him on his contract extension to 2029. I mean, that was never a question. And here's the NASCAR Classics hauler with all the legends of NASCAR put into one. And for people wondering, what about Legacy Motor Club? What about Spire Motorsports? There they are, right over there. Nobody forgot about that. I mean, I was looking myself the other night, Friday, and wondering, where are their merchandise? And I looked closely over here, and I'm like, there it is. And honestly, you put Richard Petty on this NASCAR Classics merchandise hauler with his team and everything, it makes perfect sense. I've secured a merchandise for myself, the 2025 William Byron diecast car. Again, it's only fitting that I get it just after his extension to 2029. And don't be surprised to see him up at the front tonight. He's going to be a threat, and he runs really well here. And he also won yesterday's Xfinity race, so that adds more momentum to his fuel to try to win this race tonight. Finally gained access, got my ticket scanned in, no issues whatsoever. I mean, if I wasn't able to get through here in the first place, I did something wrong, but thankfully I didn't. Now we're gonna take the elevator because the stair climb is so aggravating on my legs. We made it all the way up to the 4th level. Now it's time to head for my section. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the money shot time. What a beautiful sight. And everybody is getting ready. The military's lined up, all the pre-race festivities are getting closer to starting.
It's cloudy, but we're going to be racing.
Always good to have him here.
I found my seat finally.
Monica, what you got?
And we have the military helicopters flying over from the Army, I believe. We thank the military, and this weekend we also honor and remember those that we lost.
And I saw an interview this week where you said you used to sit
those
up in
currently
the stands
serving,
and watch this race.
forever
and this
grateful.
Is more of a pinch me moment,
Those no
right?
longer
This is
with
more
us,
than just
we
a
miss
race,
you.
but what is extended Memorial Day weekend?
And there's your pole sitter, Chase Briscoe. Maybe tonight's the night he finally breaks through and gets his first win with Joe Gibbs Racing. They can qualify well. Can they finish the deal?
Real quickly here before we get ready to go racing and get the command to fire engines, I want to say best of luck to our NASCAR on Prime crew. Adam Alexander, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Steve Letarte, Marty Sider, Kim Kuhn, Trevor Bain, Daniel Trotta, Carl Everts, and Corey LaJoy on their debut broadcast of tonight's Coca-Cola 600. I'm sure everybody at home, if you have Prime, I hope you're excited to watch them. Obviously, I'm here at the track, so I won't be able to hear them, but I wish you guys the best of luck tonight in your first broadcast, and may it be a good one.
Please welcome U.S. Air Force Senior Airman Anthony Palacios. He is joined today by his fellow 2025 USO Service Members of the Year and our Grand Marshals, United States Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, U.S. Army Sergeant Arnold Rosales, U.S. Marine Corps Captain Brian Lay, and U.S. Navy Captain Kirby Alata.
This Memorial Day, the USO and Coca-Cola are proud to salute America's military service members and their families, especially those who made the ultimate sacrifice. On this 40th year of the Coca-Cola 600, I am honored to be here today with my fellow 2025 USO Service Members of the Year and our Coca-Cola 600 Grand Marshals, United States Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, U.S. Army Sergeant Arnold Rosales, U.S. Marine Corps Captain Brian Lay, and U.S. Navy Captain Jervy Alator. We are proud to stand here in remembrance of those we've lost and in gratitude for the people now serving our great nation as members of the United States military. Please join the United States Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, U.S. Army Sergeant Arnold Rosales, U.S. Marine Corps Captain Brian Lay, and U.S. Navy Captain Jervy Alator, and saying the most famous words in motorsports.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Engines are fired. 40 drivers set in their cars. 400 laps, 600 miles. On a weekend, we will remember those that we have lost. This is about to be a wild one. great news for NASCAR and for Charlotte Motor Speedway. Everybody wants an opportunity to see this Crown Jewel in person. Well, here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the pace car in the field off of turn number 4. Now we will left hand turn, and we are ready to go. 40 cars ready to team America's racing. Chase Briscoe Collins in the front row. The green flag is waving. We're underway. You see a lot of things in the Coke 600. That's one of them for sure. Restart number 1. Here we go. Yellow and green, white checkers to end the stage. It is William Byron off of the contract extension and yesterday's Xfinity Series win. He's the stage 1 winner ahead of Reddick, Bell, John Hunter Nemechek out with a great run, and Allmendinger, Chris Buescher, Denny Hamlin, Noah Griggs, and Chase Elliott, and Michael McDowell. But we have a long way to go. Close call for Kyle Larson getting through that wreck. See, Jimmy Johnson, he just lost the back end, and he comes down to Cutter's Village, and Will Custer has nowhere to go. What a tough break for all street drivers.
commitment made by our servicemen and women who work around the clock to protect the many freedoms we all enjoy, always putting country in front of self. On this Memorial Day weekend, we honor and remember our fallen heroes. We pay respect to those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. And we send love to those Gold Star families who have lost a loved one while serving our great nation. Let's all join in a moment of silence.
working on it. They were getting back to the top 15. He had nowhere to go, and he's in the garage area. They're going to work on it, try to get him back out there for points, but his night is pretty much over. Same goes for that guy, Ryan Blaney, and they were just getting into the top 10. They kept working on it all night long, and they were getting up there. They were starting to become a possible top 10 factor. Now it's all crunched. The restart up to that wreck. Byron Hamlin, green flag. spectators. Pretty soon they'll be over on that stage post race. They're at the exit of Pit Road. One more stage to go. Gotta be a battle. This is it. This is the final stage of this long race. And for the first time in a while, Fire will be the control car. Who's gonna march on top? Here we go for the final stage. So according to the radar report, hosts are slowing down. He said the motor blew up right there. I mean, these engines on these cars are pretty durable, but right there, someone got in the back of Chris Buescher, and it looks like it was overrun. My heart is broken for Carson Hocevar, who drove from where he started in the race to challenging for the win, and now it's all gone up in smoke. A nightmarish outcome. The driver, the number 77, ride the Dente Chevrolet. Now ready to go back green with Hamilton on the road. Green flag.
40th today. Did you think that this was even possible?
Marty, I'm gonna soak this in.
You should.
Did I? Yes. When I left the shop last night, I went over, sat in this car for the first time. It was about 10 o'clock when I left. They worked till 2:30. They were back at 5:30 this morning. Most of them drive 30, 45 minutes home. A little shower, I think. I don't even know if they slept back there at 5:30 to get this thing ready. And that's the dedication it takes from Trackhouse. There was people there that had their Saturdays off yesterday, and they came in. And for this jockey Chevy and the McCray family to carry them.
You got his picture.
He was riding with me, Mr. McCray. His family's here with Allie and all of his sister brothers. What this weekend's all about is to think about and remember the ones that sacrificed so much for us. Alanese, my truck team, all our Marine veterans, so happy to drive for him. Thought we were going to get one on Friday night, but for tonight, Trackhouse, Team Chevy, Bush Light, Moose, Acceptance Insurance, Wendy's. I gotta look, it's been so long, I feel like. The McCray family told me to be a sponge. That was something that their dad told them a lot, and I gotta tell you, I didn't feel much like a sponge tonight. I was rattling around out there, but to drive on that final run in the World 600 and pass two cars that had been way better all night. Phil Surgeon wanted me to pit 2 laps earlier. I went 2 laps longer just out of a little bit of confusion, and man, that paid off at the end. These Goodyear Eagles held on longer because they were a little bit fresher, and holy cow, we just won the World 600!
Walk me through the highs and lows of the weekend, Ross, because you were in the turn 3 and 4 wall in the middle of practice, and then somehow you wind up in victory lane. How did you, first of all, get through that moment Saturday and then pull off the final pass on William Byron tonight?
Well, how did I do that? My team built me another car. For about an hour and a half, we thought we were going to fix the primary, and that would have been fine. And then NASCAR said, no, there's something bad, too much, so go build another one, and we did. That's how we did that. How we drove through the field tonight was just stayed in it. I didn't get too happy when I was passing cars. I didn't get too sad when we caught that first green flag cycle on the wrong side of it. So with the goal of eating one of these Inzazat Florida watermelons, the 6 fresh from Florida, it just came up from our family farm this week. Last week, I guess, we came up, and man, for the Florida watermelon industry, that's your watermelons you're getting right now, so you all better go buy a dang watermelon to celebrate. I want to see videos of smashed watermelons. I'll flood the socials. I want to see it. Florida watermelons are in season, and but I passed them because my team went and built me a car, and they were up there all night, Marty.
What a statement win for Trackhouse Racing and Ross Chastain. His first ever Crown Jewel victory. He gets it in the Coca-Cola 600, Trevor.
William almost tried to form an attack and go after that one car there.
Was just defending, but it was just, yeah, I mean, he was catching me, and I was trying to just defend, and I was getting a little bit tight, so, and then just the scenario there with kind of the cars way around, and it was tough. So, yeah, he got a run on me. I was able to get to the bottom and clear me off at 2, so disappointing, yeah, just to lead that many laps, and such a great effort by our whole team, and yeah, I guess just could have anticipated that last round a little better. I ran in dirty air for a long time and heated my tires up. Then we lost a chunk of time at the 45, about crashed in front of us, and just, yeah, it sucked. So, yeah, we'll just keep going and keep trying to put races together like that.
We saw you the last couple laps against the wall, trying to do everything you could there. You know, watching this weekend for you, this is a home race. What did it mean for you to lead so many laps here at the 600, and again to win your first race here at Charlotte this weekend? First Xfinity race, sorry.
Yeah, it'll be good in the long term, I guess, but really wanted this one, so yeah, just a bummer, right? But try to learn from it, and yeah, it was tough there at the end. I mean, he was catching me, and I was trying to just defend, and just not quite enough. Thanks, William.
Climbs out front of the crew as he's the winner here at Charlotte.
good to be Ross Chastain and his fan base now, isn't it? That was mighty impressive. Thank you, Charlotte Motor Speedway, for such a fun weekend. We got the whole Coke 600 in, and it was some race, folks. Charlotte, I guess I'll see you in the fall for the Roval.
When I talk, everybody. All right,
Everybody's starting to file out. We had to wait a long time at the stoplight for them to let us cross, but now we're over in our parking lot and everybody's getting out of here. But we're just gonna take it easy because why rush it? Yeah, we're still gonna be staying here. I mean, again, don't rush it. This is a long line of cars trying to file out of here.
All right, it's time to get out of here. Most of the traffic's gone. It's time to hit the road. What a long day at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but it was a fun one nonetheless. From waking up in the morning to watching Monaco, to going to the track and tailgating while watching the Indy 500 and grilling barbecue, chicken, and grilling the burgers. It was a phenomenal day, and not too warm and not too humid, thankfully. And we got the whole 600 miles of the Coca-Cola 600 in tonight, and it was absolutely phenomenal. From the get-go, when they waved the green flag with Chase Briscoe leading everybody to green, to all the battles that we had throughout the pack and the comers and goers. And who would have thought that starting dead last in a backup car, Ross Chastain would pull off an incredible upset by taking the lead with 6 laps to go from William Byron and winning the Coca-Cola 600, his first Crown Jewel ever. And Trackhouse Racing, that was a very impressive job by the team to prepare the backup car after they wrecked it in practice on Saturday, to drive all the way up through the field, kept working on it every single chance that they got, and in the final stage, they became a factor, racing against perhaps 2 of the best drivers the entire race in William Byron and Denny Hamlin. That was absolutely impressive. And Ross Chastain, who didn't make the playoffs last year, he's now in it this year, and he can now add a crown jewel. And that watermelon smash was perfect. And the burnout as well was outstanding. Just really good racing all day long. After the disappointment that we had last year, where the race got shortened due to rain and everybody was upset, sounds like everybody leaving the race tonight had a blast and they got treated to a really good race. Even though it was mainly dominated by the 24 car, there was battles for in the middle of the pack, and there was some competition and challenges for the lead throughout the race. It was some really good stuff, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And just again, glad that we got all 600 miles in on the Sunday night instead of it being rain shortened or moved to Monday. Definitely enjoyed that one. Third time was the charm. Finally. But some really good racing in general. Heartbreak for a couple of drivers. Jimmy Johnson knocked out early in a wreck off turn 4 in his 700 start, finishing dead last. That's not fun. And then Kyle Larson, who tried to do the double today, but it was not successful because he wrecked out early in the Indianapolis 500. Flew here just in time, was good early on leading those laps, and then he smacked the wall, and then a few laps later spun around and had to play catch up, and they were closing back in on the top 15 until that wreck off of turn 4 in stage number 3, and he got clipped at the last second, taking him out of the race. Definitely sucks for Kyle Larson, the 5 team. And then there were some other guys that had some rough luck as well. Like Joey Logano's car wasn't really good all night long. Carson Hocevar, I'm so heartbroken for that guy because he had a really good car and could keep up with Byron, Hamlin, and Tyler Reddick for a lot of the race. But start of the final stage going into turns 1 and 2, I don't know if he missed a shift or something, but the motor blew up and pretty much effectively ended his race. I'm gutted for him because he's had some good performance in his cars this year, and it's only a matter of time before they win a race. They just need luck to fall on their side. But at the end of the night, it was Ross Chastain pulling off the upset and stealing one from William Byron and winning the Coca-Cola 600. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and it didn't take that long, honestly, to get out of the speedway and leave the track with all the traffic and everything. We actually got back and made pretty decent time for it. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and probably will be coming back for it next year for sure. And I'll be hopefully coming back here in the fall. I probably will be attending the Roval race to see who's able to advance out of the round of 12. It'll be a very entertaining race in general. So I hope everybody watching the race live or watching it on Prime Video enjoyed this year's Coke 600. I can't wait to watch the broadcasts on Prime a little bit later this week and find out how it all went for their first telecast. And I hope they did a really good job. And based on the comments I saw on Twitter, it sounds like they did a really nice job. But I want to see it for myself. But I want to thank you all so much for watching my experience at the Coke 600 this year. It was a fun time, and I had a blast doing it. But I'm going to go to bed because it's so late, and I need to get my rest for tomorrow. And also one more thing before I close out. We remember and honor those that we lost while serving in our military, because that's what this weekend is mainly about. As much as we love to grill and have a good time and watch a race, this weekend, it's about them, our men and women of our military. Those currently serving, we thank you for your sacrifice, and we are forever indebted. To those that are no longer with us, we honor and we remember. But for all that, I will leave you with this. Stay blessed and have a wonderful Memorial Day. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and congrats once again to Ross Chastain and Trackhouse Racing on winning the Coca-Cola 600. Have a great night, everybody. Let's go racing.